Sandstorm. That'll take you back, won't it?
Oh yeah. Out of body experience.
Damn right. What's up, guys? Week 6. Luke, Tom, back in the lab.
Fantasy football, baby.
Yeah.
NFL football. It's been exciting so far.
Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff happening in the league. Trades, injuries, matchups, drama.
Madness, man. Madness. How you doing today, Tom?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad we're getting a podcast in.
Yeah. Week 6, man. We're both 4-1. Can't be all bad, right?
That's nice.
Could be worse. Could be the Diddler's meat oil.
We actually got 4 teams at 4-1.
Oh no, this. Oh yeah, we do. We have 4 teams at 4-1, and 1 team at 0-5, and 2 teams at 1-4. The little caveat on that is Spencer. You should not be down there that low, Mister. I think he does have the most points scored against him so far this year, which is a tough deal. If not, Josh does too, but somehow Josh just seems to keep on reeling out the
How does he do
badass teams, man.
How does he do it?
He falls into them on accident. He's like, oh, I need a running back this week. Whatever, I'll just pick up Chase Brown, 16 points. Got it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, here's the thing. Josh does awesome with his drafts and in the regular season, but I'm not worried about him once we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, well, there's no reason to worry there. He's like the Dallas Cowboys of the playoffs in our league, man, for sure, like 100%. So, Josh, not to backhanded remark you too bad, great drafter, great fantasy player, horrible in the playoffs, dude. Dallas Cowboys. Let's just go ahead and write the Dallas Cowboys on Josh's name.
Josh,
be like,
the Dallas Cowboys of Hate the Game League.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I can't wait till he hears this. He's going to be like, F you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So sorry. So true, though, as well.
So we've got 4 teams at 4-1. And I got to be perfectly honest, one of those teams does not belong there.
Oh, yeah. You talking about Cromer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't think Cromer belongs there?
No, because Cody should have subbed in a guy in week 1.
But the Diddler's meat oil is the Diddler's meat oil for a reason. So, like I said, his shirt was a little too tight that morning.
Yeah. Cut off some of the blood circulation in the brain.
Yeah. He had a little penis top head on it. Like that morning.
I did see that he picked up Kirk Cousins. Nice pickup, Cody. And then I also see that he bid, $25 on Darnell?
My boy, Darnell Mooney.
So he did try to make some changes there. And you know what, Cody? I hope you win this week, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I think you will. I think Chris thinks his team's pretty strong, but as Josh said about his team in the text message, which was completely accurate, he was like, this may be the worst fantasy football team I've ever seen on paper. And he goes, woof. And I was like, boy, Chris is in a bad place right now. I can't imagine having a team. I mean, like, my team was bad last year, right? Like, they were bad, but I was never, like, looking at my team going, like, man,
I'm toast.
Like, I have no chance, dude. Like, his best player is Chris Olave, and I think the dude scored, like, 2 points last game or something, Like, that was, sorry, Chris, man.
Good luck.
I think you're paying for that trade from last year.
Yeah, Cody's going to get one win this week.
Yeah, looks like it.
First question. Who's the hottest team in the NFL today?
I mean, I guess you got to say to me, I think the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as far as top to bottom, like, complete 360 from last year to this year, usually when the Dallas Cowboys play the Redskins or the Commanders, I'm sorry, it's guaranteed victory.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, right. And I'm pretty sure Mike knows that, dude, because I talk to him about it all the time.
Yeah.
It's
been ongoing thing.
For the last 8 years.
Right.
I think I've been like, he's been like, man, Washington's got a chance this year. And I'm like, dude, stop it, man. I'm like,
this year, though, there's a real possibility.
They got a chance. And like, whoa, pump the brakes because they played nobody. But, like, literally, they got the highest scoring offense in the league. And there's a reason for that because they've been playing teams that are, trash, man.
Well, I got to give Jaden Daniels some credit, though. Dude looks good. Dude looks good.
When I look at him with his runs and his film, I'm like, man, that guy is a stud. Like the way he plays, he's faster than everybody out there. His mechanics look good. He really looks like an NFL quarterback. He's like Lamar Jackson 2.0 or
right.
something.
So I'm kind of going back, like, Bryce Young comes in the league. He looks like trash.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, he had 5 interceptions, maybe 6 in the first 3 games. Awful. You know what I mean? Like, you got some of these rookie quarterbacks that they get so hyped up, and then they actually come in and play, and they're just bad.
Yeah. Dare I say he could be better than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he throws
better than Lamar Jackson for sure, as far as potential goes.
Sure.
And he runs, just as good. So here, let's just real quick. These are the 5 teams that the Washington Redskins or the Washington Commanders have played against. Tampa Bay is number 1. Good team. You can definitely throw the ball on them. What did Kirk Cousins do to him last week? 506 yards throwing on him. So, okay, that's a decent team. That's a team that is going to probably be in the playoffs. The Giants,
the
Bengals, the Cardinals, and Cleveland. All of those teams are trash.
Well, yeah, the Giants and Cleveland.
Yeah,
I think Arizona got blown
trash.
out. They got blown out.
They trashed. They beat San Francisco last week, and they beat them like 23-20. It was
24-23, I think.
Something like that. And then, but Arizona's not a good team. They're like middling. They're middle of the pack. Giants, not a good team. Cincinnati, 1-4. They score a lot of points, but they got no defense. Again, it's just one of those things where you're like, but like I said, kudos to them. They're going to get a challenge next week. We'll see what happens against the Ravens.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's going to be a good matchup.
The battle of the 2 running quarterbacks, essentially.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I'm definitely, if I can watch that game, I'm going to watch it, but I doubt it'll be on my TV.
So, Ravens with Derrick Henry, almost unstoppable, dude.
And that's where you worry about the Commanders next week, is that if the Ravens run the football successfully, which
they will,
and Lamar Jackson runs the ball, it's just too hard to stop their run game, and they limit Washington on defense, then I think the Commanders get a loss this week. Personally, that's what I think. No offense to them. I think that the Commanders are good, and I think that Jaden Daniels is good. I just don't think they're going to beat the Ravens.
No, that's a tough one there for sure. Ravens are like the hottest team right now.
Yeah.
Washington's doing awesome. The Ravens are kicking ass, so it'll be a good game. I will be watching that one.
And this might be a hot take too, but I think they lose to Chicago in Week 8 because I like Chicago's defense.
You like Chicago right now? Yeah.
I just like their defense, and I think that their offense is starting to come around a little bit, but Washington's defense is so bad that I think Caleb Williams will be able to throw on them.
Let's hope so, for their sake.
Yeah, for their sake.
All right, tell me what you think about the Aaron Rodgers situation.
Well, let me tell you, as a Garrett Wilson owner, and I watched Garrett Wilson get thrown 22 targets.
Over the last 2, yeah.
No, he got thrown 22 targets last week.
What?
22 targets, dude, okay?
Wow.
He only caught like 13 of them. However, in that process, Aaron Rodgers looks cooked.
Dude, he threw some shitty passes.
I was like, he would look at the players like, you guys suck. And I was like, actually, that's the other way around, Mr. 3 picks. And, he had Garrett Wilson open so many times.
There were 2 that I saw where Aaron Rodgers just threw it in the freaking ground. You know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing about, to me, Aaron Rodgers was always really good at throwing off his back foot and making these kind of strange throws that nobody else could make. Well, now that he's cooked, he can't quite make those throws anymore. So he looks like a bad quarterback. But, that's insane, isn't it, dude?
From a defensive standpoint, next 3 games, Buffalo, Pitt, New England.
Pitt, you can throw on a little bit.
Not if you're Aaron Rodgers.
No, not if you're Aaron Rodgers. But you're going to have to because you can't run on them.
Right.
And, I just think that, man, if you got the Steelers defense against the Jets and that dude walking around with his cane back in the backfield, look at Dak Prescott. That dude got railed this last week, and he is by far a better, get away from the quarterback. Get away from T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Capable than Aaron Rodgers ever will be for the rest of his life. He is going to get. I want to see. Okay, I'm going to call it right now. I think Aaron Rodgers gets taken out of the game. On that game, I think he gets blown up by T.J. Watt, and Tyrod Taylor makes his
emergence.
Comes in. You know what I mean?
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah, it is. But man, I watched that game against the Vikings, and I was just like, wow, man, they are getting roasted by this guy. And Aaron Rodgers sucks. He's looking at the players like it's their fault, and I'm like, dude, it is not their fault. It is
Speaking of fault, Saleh gets fired.
Yeah.
Mid-season.
Aaron Rodgers' fault, 100%.
Gotcha. I was like, I don't really think Saleh should have been fired, personally.
He's a defensive guy. How are you going to fire him for not producing offense? Nathaniel Hackett is cooked. Aaron Rodgers is cooked. Nathaniel Hackett stinks. There's no motion in his offense. I talked about this of why the Rams' offense is so good. Nathaniel Hackett can't hack it, dude. Like, he has no motion.
Yeah.
You're like 4th, 3rd, and 1. What do? Line up the box, bring in the big boy, and let him try and run over. Yeah. I'm like, this is not 1945, dude. Like, you have got to have some motion to
move some stuff around.
Move some stuff around, man. You know, I mean,
I don't think Saleh should have got fired. Aaron Rodgers throws 3 interceptions, they lose the game, and it's Saleh's fault. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Also, though, I don't think Saleh is really a good head coach because he's like a player's coach, kind of. And he worships Aaron Rodgers for some reason. Like, you see that relationship, and you're like, dude, tell that dude. I mean, because Aaron Rodgers is walking around pissed because they're not winning or whatever. And I'm like, you as a head coach need to be like, you need to put this on your shoulders. You're the guy we brought you in to win games, and you're not winning them.
Right.
So, whose fault? It's not my fault. It's your fault. You got your guys out there. We went and got your receivers. Yep. We went and got your coordinator. We went and got everything you wanted, and now it's our fault that we're losing? Not so fast, my friend.
We're using your cadence. We're using your snap count.
Everything you want to do to set you up to win, and you suck. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion.
No, that's good. That's good. What about Davante Adams?
The drama continues with Davante Adams. Right, here goes another baby back.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, look, guess who else is having problems in the NFL right now? Rodgers, other side of the coin, right? Oh, now for the Jets, let's go get Davante Adams so we can have 2 crybabies on the team. That's what we should do, you know?
Then you got to throw in Ayuk in that same deal. He just got paid, and he's bitching.
Yeah. You're like, what do you guys... just go out and play football, man? I mean, if you watch some of the highlights, I say highlights because the only highlights Davante Adams has this year, him
crying on the fucking sideline.
But he's been doing that for the past 2 years. As soon as they got rid of Derek Carr, it just...
Yeah, it went down.
It went downhill, man. And I mean, I get it for Davante, but at one point, or at what point do you have to be a professional and just make your money and go out there and play football and be happy that you're in the NFL and you're still playing and you're making all this money? You know.
So I think they need to start putting something in their clauses that if you fail
or you don't play
because you're pissed off or you demand a trade, then you forego a large portion of this guaranteed cash.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
why they're not putting those clauses in there now, I don't get.
But I also don't think there's a lot of guaranteed money in there for Adams right now because of kind of that reason. You know, and Adams doesn't care. He's got plenty of money, I'm sure. So he just wants to play football, man. And I get that, but there has to be some responsibility towards the player to not play because, look, now you got, Max Crosby not playing too? He's also out because he wants to get traded with Davante. So there's some other turmoil going on in the Raiders camp. And the other thing is, with the Raiders, I'm like, this kind of makes sense too a little bit because here you have a quarterback competition in week 6 of your season. Your season's done if you don't figure out who your quarterback. What are you gonna share reps between 2 quarterbacks? This is not college football, right? Is this college football? Are we having open quarterback competitions in the NFL right now in week 6? This is something that you should have figured out before the season started. You stick with your guy. You're going to have bad games. You're going to have good games. But the fact of the matter is you don't need 2 guys getting practice reps.
Pop them in, pop them
out.
In
practice, you have a limited amount of time to practice, and you need to win games. And guess who they got to play this week? The Steelers.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great. I got to play the Steelers, and we don't even know who our quarterback is.
Right. hey, you got them all lined up and be like, you'll go in first rep, and you'll go in second rep for QB, and then, hey, maybe you'll go in third rep.
Yeah, what a blunder, man. I mean, seriously. So,
all right, so let's talk about Josh Allen. He took a monster hit during that last game.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game. Obviously, I got him on my team, and that dude got rolled. And he was out. I mean, he looked like...
He got cold cocked.
Who was the last person I've seen get knocked out like that? Yeah, Tua. That's what I was exactly. He wasn't doing the finger motions.
Right.
He wasn't throwing up gang signs on the ground while he was out there. But he was limp.
Yeah.
Dude. He was Limp Bizkit out there, man, for sure. And then all of a sudden, he just wakes up and jumps up and it's like, all right, next play.
Shake it off.
And he's like, he comes on the sideline. You can see him, if you can read his lips and he's saying chest, my chest, I got hit in the chest or whatever. and they're saying chest and ankles. But then he goes to the medical tent, and he's gone for one play, and you got Mitch Trubisky out there, and this is like a super important drive, like super important drive for them. They're trying to get back on top or whatever. And I do if Josh Allen's out there, they probably do better on that drive.
Oh, hell yeah!
But like he goes, it's my chest and my ankle, and then he comes out of the tent and they give him the smelling salts. And and we talked about
does that help your ankle?
I was like, does that help your ankle? I don't understand.
Does it help your chest?
Yeah, does it? I mean, is it smelling salts? Like I need to wake up my lungs or something?
Dude,
like,
he was on the ground on the field, limp, like he got knocked out in a UFC fight.
Yeah,
just
dude,
like head on the ground.
Like he looked out, and then on top of that, you go into this week, he's not even on any kind of injury list.
No concussion
protocol. He's
no
fine.
questionable ankle or nothing.
He's fine. You know what I mean? Like
got that stem cell stuff going on.
James Cook is on the injury list for his toe. Josh Allen got like his head taken off.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm fine. That's hilarious.
That is funny. All right, boys. We'll be back here in a few. We're going to talk about trades, injuries, and the waiver wire.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Luke. We're back. We got a whole shit pot of injuries. We got a couple of trades, and we got a lot of waiver wire action.
What do you want to talk about first? What do you want to start out with?
Let's go with the injuries.
Injuries.
Are you plagued by injuries?
I'm not plagued by injuries, thank goodness. But I did have an injury today with James Cook. We'll see if it's anything. I don't know. They play on Monday. I think they're just trying to chill,
It's a rest thing.
Yeah.
So, one team that has been plagued by injury that I figured we would talk about is Hayuk Tua.
Hayuk Tua. He's still 3-2, and he has really been kicked in the ass. Not this year, but last year as well.
Oh, yeah, last year was tough.
I mean, this dude had Puka on the injury list. Rashee Rice. Oh, I mean, the worst part about Rashee Rice is the fact that he goes... Patrick Mahomes throws an INT, right? Running down the field.
Trying to make a play, yeah.
Does make a play. Gets a fumble from this dude. Makes him fumble, and then Patrick Mahomes comes in.
Stabs his leg in half.
Stabs his leg in half. And I'm like, if there is one bad play that Patrick Mahomes has made this year that he could take back, I guarantee you.
He's probably losing sleep over that one.
INT, and I just decapitated my own player. And I just handicapped my own player for the rest of the season, and he might not see him ever again. You know why?
Because he's going to prison.
He's going to prison.
He's going to prison.
He is 2 years gone. This is the new Josh Gordon.
Oh, wow.
He might be the new Josh Gordon.
Wow.
Man, Mom got caught stealing packages at people's front doors.
Dude, I had to watch that a couple of times. That's rough.
Apple don't fall too far away from the tree, apparently. Because these dudes, what are they doing, man? Like, you are fixing to be the next best thing in the NFL.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, and you're out here doing the dumbest stuff you can possibly do. Then you're having a great season. Having the best season of your life. Now, Patrick Mahomes.
It was an accident.
It was an accident, but man, that's just how things happen in the NFL. One day you're the shit, and the next day you're
toast. This guy's actually toast.
You're really poop.
If he misses only one season while he's in prison, that'd be a surprise.
Yeah, but no telling what. It's a cascade of things. When you start going into what's going to happen to you, you're suspended. You're not playing. What you get into those, and let's be honest. Look, his history hasn't been great with discipline and stuff like that. So
and this is what sucks. You're having a great season so far. You get taken out by your quarterback. Yeah. You're going to be injured for the rest of the season, most likely. And then when you get done with that season, you get to look forward to going to court and getting sentenced and going to prison.
The only thing you got to look forward to is the fact that you're probably going to get a Super Bowl ring, and you're probably not going to do anything for it.
Right.
When you were going to be the reason.
He was going to be the guy.
Like, the guy that could possibly get you the Super Bowl. Now you're just like, karma's a thing, dude. Karma's a thing, man.
So, I'll rattle off a couple here. Neighbors for the Giants. He's having a great season. He was on the list. Nico Collins.
And also, let me say this.
Yeah.
Okay. Neighbors being out really hurt Mike last week. He had a loss because he didn't have Neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, in my
Absolutely.
opinion, so he'll be back though. I'm sure he'll be fine. And then you got Nico. Oh, man, Josh, dude. Nico goes out, all right, pulls a hammy, but in the process of pulling a hammy, right at the beginning of the game, he's like 78 yards for a touchdown. He's like 78 yards, touchdown. By the way,
I'm good.
Holla.
I'm
See
good.
you later.
I'm
You know
good
what
on
I
this
mean?
game. Yeah.
Like Devon Achane, 2.7 points, concussion, out, dude.
Yeah.
Right? But Nico's like, hey, I'm gonna send you off a little something on the way.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how you do it, right there. I mean,
Oh,
goodness
real quick
gracious.
about Neighbors. Last 3 games that he played in, 29, 28, 23. Yeah, that's a big reason why Mike lost.
Yeah, I mean, huge reason. I mean, it is the reason he lost by 1 point. I was sitting there watching the game, and that big boy made that interception.
That was
in the end zone.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Ultimately, Mike was doomed because he had Patrick Mahomes. I mean, like, Patrick Mahomes playing against you, that's not too bad. He's not scoring very many points. I mean, the fact that,
I think Big Boy could have went for 6.
yeah, oh, man.
If some of his guys
he's
were not.
rumbling.
Yeah,
He's stumbling.
He could
I was
have
like,
went for 6.
serious athlete, man. Like, that dude was obviously.
I watched him catch that, and then he bolted like he was a running back. I was like, damn, this dude's fast.
Yeah, and the funny part about that is I read something interesting about that. His brother, the guy, New Orleans Saints guy, Saunders, his brother is a backup dancer for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then on top of that, Saunders used to play for the Chiefs in 2023 as one of their defensive guys or whatever. So it's kind of a funny thing.
That is
how
kind
it
of
all
funny.
happened out or how it all
No, they were
worked out.
talking about that during the game, talking about his brother being a backup dancer.
Yeah,
That's
and that
funny.
dude's like super athletic. Apparently, he's doing backflips all over the place, gymnastics.
That's
the Saunders
crazy.
dude. Yeah, like it's pretty nuts. But all those dudes are freak athletes. But anyways, who we got next on the
Puka Nakua,
Puka Nakua. Can't help but that guy needs to come back.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Oh yeah, we were talking about IU Tua. Yeah, that of course somebody had to squeeze into Tua on the
Right.
name eventually, but.
However you can do it.
Tyler's doing a good job of switching his names every week. Jonathan Taylor got injured with the high ankle sprain. He's got him in. He's like hoping to God that he plays. I tried to trade you Trey Sermon last week for Bucky Irvin. You didn't want to do it, and you could have had 18 points from Trey Sermon. Like he was like, I ain't doing it. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that dude has a high ankle sprain.
You're not going to take the backup to
for
Jonathan Taylor over Bucky Irving?
Yeah, he played Bucky Irvin for 5 points, and I played Trey Sermon for 18. Just saying.
And you didn't even need it.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't even need him. But then on top of that, he's got him back in his lineup right now. It's a high ankle sprain, Tyler.
He's hoping. Tyler running on hope.
He's coming back to your bench, buddy. You know what I mean? Like
Tyler running on hope.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, poor guy just has been dealing with it all year. But
Yeah, he got Njoku on his list as well.
I mean, just plagued. Absolutely plagued, man. But
Isaiah Pacheco, out.
Isaiah Pacheco, another 4 weeks at least. And what is he going to be when he comes back? I mean,
Right.
like, Kareem Hunt's running good.
Dude. Yeah. I like Kareem Hunt, man.
Yeah, I think that the Chiefs line is so good. You put anybody back there just about, and they're going to get it done. The New Orleans Saints have a good defense, and they did whatever it just scripted up, man. Like, just write the script for the Chiefs to just win every game because that's what everybody wants. The refs obviously want it. The fans want it. It's a three-peat. It'll be the first time ever. I just ring it up, man.
Yeah,
You know?
mean, it's very possible.
Yeah, exactly. Who else we got? We got
Etienne.
Coach says he got popped real good in that last game.
Who picked up Bigsby?
Picked him up for free this morning, I believe.
Yeah.
I think his projection was so low that nobody. I mean, he was definitely being talked about. The dude is running his balls off.
I
man.
was
Like,
I was interested in him, but I was like,
No, but somebody's gonna bid on him.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to. Nope. I just picked him up. I dropped Tyler Algiers, which I still like Algiers if Bijan gets hurt, but Bijan's he's gonna be better. I think for the rest of the season. That's just my personal take on it. We'll see what happens. You got Cooper Kupp. There's just so many injuries this year. It's been, thankfully, I haven't had to deal with them like a lot of teams here, but you haven't had to deal with them either, have you?
well, not really. You know what I mean? Like everybody's
injured pride for you with Anthony Richardson. That's about the
Yeah, and I got rid of his ass.
Yeah. And then you get stuck with you had the Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman stack. And we talked
thought that
about
was
this
going to
like
be
week
so
one.
great.
We talked about this week one, and I was like, not so fast, my friend. I was like, week one, he drops those bombs in there. And
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, my boy.
I did
He's
it.
like, Michael Pittman didn't show up that much this week because he's dropping them dimes to somebody else. So I'm not that worried about it. And I was sitting here telling you, I was like,
5
9 for
interceptions.
19.
5 interceptions over the next 2 games with Richardson.
I was like, 9 for 19 ain't looking so good, Tom. And he's like, I got him. He's my boy. I think Tom was listening to Shefty a little too much. Shefty was high on Anthony Richardson. I was like, dude, this dude. Everybody else was talking about how Jaden Daniels was Anthony, what everybody wanted Anthony Richardson to be. Essentially,
obviously that didn't pan out.
Then Joe Flacco comes back. I'm like, you're like, yes. This is who I want as my quarterback.
Joe Flacco plays for the rest of the season.
He ain't though, dude. Anthony Richardson's coming right back in because you can't go from Anthony Richardson and trying to get this guy that we believe in the future to throw an old moldy Joe Flacco out there. Like if he was on the Browns, like sure, like I think if you're on the Browns, you put Joe Flacco in because Deshaun Watson is.
Oh, man. They overpaid for that mug big time.
They won't put Jameis Winston in. I'm like, dude, it's time to eat you have a good team minus Deshaun Watson. Like, literally. And they're 1-4 now. I think even if you put Jameis Winston in there, at least the Browns fan will have some fun. This dude was on 4th down. The Kevin Stefanski was like, stay on the field. We're going for it on 4th down. And Deshaun Watson shut it down, walked off the field, and was like, I ain't doing it, coach. I'm going to sit on the bench. And
I'm
not even kidding, man. You got to go watch it. Stephen Stefanski takes off his headphones. He's like, what the hell, man? He's like, what are you doing out there? And Deshaun Watson literally just throws in the towel, man. Walks off the field. It says kick a field goal. Have a nice day.
Wow.
They're still in. It's like third quarter. It's 24-3. I've seen worse come back. I've seen people come back, and this dude just straight walks off the field on 4th down. Wow. He's like, I give up. And I was like, wow. And then he goes into the press conference and is like, he's our guy. And you're like, how, man? How is that even possible? So.
Well, let's change gears here. Let's talk about, we've got 3 trades in the league that I saw. Kelsey for Pitts and Najee Harris.
Personally, my favorite trade.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah. Oh my God. I was thinking I offered him way more.
I mean, possibly. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's still, it's a season long thing. I'm not trying to eat up Kenny for trading a guy that's his number 2 pick.
I will.
His number 2 pick. You know what I mean? Like for my 13th round pick and my 10th round pick.
He didn't even play Najee Harris that game. That's funny.
No, not the first one, but the second one he did, and he played Pitts, and he did win.
He did win. Yeah.
By 1 point, and Pitts got as many points as Travis Kelce. So, I mean, you could say that it worked out or whatever. We'll see what happens. Now, I will say this: that Pitts, Darnell Mooney, and Drake London all had what I would say impossible games at the same time. Pitts has 16 points, Drake London has 33, and Darnell Mooney has 28 in the same game. That's with Kirk Cousins throwing 506 yards on the Tampa Bay Bucs.
And 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, and 18 touchdowns. So temper expectations in the future for those big guys, you know what I mean? Because they're probably not going to do that every game.
Second trade, A.J. Brown versus DJ Moore and Zach Moss.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
I think
it's an okay trade.
I think Spencer benefits from this.
Yeah.
Other than Zach Moss has got an injury designation
especially after DJ Moore blew up this last game.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it was against the Carolina Panthers, so pump your brakes on DJ Moore putting up 28 points every game. But at the same point in time, Zach Moss is going to be okay.
How about A.J. Brown's hamstring? You think it holds up?
I mean, that's the question. I mean, risk versus reward right there. If A.J. Brown's hamstring holds up, then I feel like it's probably a really good trade for Cromer because he was lacking wide receivers. It makes his team better. And he's, and to a reeling Spencer's team, which wasn't really reeling. It just looked like it because his record looks like it. However, his team is good. Like Spencer's team, like I came into that week and after Drake London scored 33 points on me, I was like, ugh. I got to think about what I'm going to do now. I was just going to put my players in and be like happy with it, but and it kind of made me waffle a little bit. Maybe Tommy waffle a little bit on the
God, that asshole strikes again, man. I tell you what.
Well, I was like, I had Ramondre in there, but then they started talking about how Ramondre was going to be the starter, and I was like, if Jonathan Taylor doesn't start, I know Trey Sermon's going to be the starter. That didn't end up hurting me, but it did for a while. Like Trey Sermon wasn't getting what Ramondre was getting.
Sure.
But then I put Deontay Johnson in because I thought, man, he's got a good floor. That didn't work out. I should have played Garrett Wilson I almost played Garrett Wilson just to have somebody to watch in the first game, you know. But that didn't work out. But I think that Spencer is going to come back.
I think he is. His team's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, we all know that I've won with a 1-4 record before. Cromer's won with a 1-4 record before. So being 1-4
doesn't necessarily mean you're out.
It's not indicative of a loser. It just means, like, again, if you look at the points and you look at the standings here and you look at how many points that Spencer's had scored on him, he's got the most points scored on him so far besides Kenny with 605. If you got Cody, he's got 645. But
here's the starting receivers this week for Spencer. Drake London projected 20.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed 15. Mm-hmm. DJ Moore 15. That's pretty damn good. And those matchups are juicy too.
Juicy, dude, juicy. And he's got some decent running backs.
Dowdle, Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's got a couple on the bench.
And he's got Aaron Jones down there. So
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, and Kareem Hunt. He's on a bye. Aaron Jones is on a bye. Kareem Hunt's on a bye. One of those guys would be in there. But I still like his team this week. And Dallas is kind of starting to figure it out in the run game a little bit. They went from this zone blocking scheme back to a man scheme, which I think they're used to, which is why I think that they were failing a little too much there. As a Dallas Cowboys fan, I know a little bit about that.
But, do you?
Yeah, a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
all right, third trade: Deebo Samuel versus Terry McLaurin.
Another Cromer trade. I don't know what's going to happen to this one, but at this point in the season, I'd rather have McLaurin than I would Deebo. My personal opinion.
Yeah, he had the opportunity for 2 touchdowns in the last game. He got shoestring tackled on the 2.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
And then they threw one to him in the end zone later in the game, and it wasn't quite on the numbers or in the hands.
Yeah, or in the hands. Yeah.
But I think he could have caught it, and it was just low. Yeah. So he could have had 2 touchdowns right there. So,
and I mean, again, this is what I talked about before about the Washington Commanders. Pump the brakes on. The Baltimore Ravens are what you would call a pass funnel. You can't run on them. You just can't. So they're going to pass it on everything, pretty much. So that could be another good game for you, man. Like, we'll see what happens. Deebo Samuels was injured. He didn't look good. He's getting outplayed by Jawan Jennings. I mean, what is going on with that? Deebo's getting older. He's not the youngest dude in the NFL right now. So, I mean, these guys sometimes, it's just like any other NFL player that gets old. One day they're good, the next day they're gone.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see what happens. I know that Cromer loves Deebo Samuels. That's why he got him. One reason he just likes him. He's probably had him on his team when he won a championship or something.
Everybody in the league's got one of those guys.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everybody does.
I don't know who's my guy that I like a lot. Oh, yeah, Amari Cooper. I love Amari Cooper, man.
OBJ there for a while.
OBJ. Yeah. I mean, everybody's got their guys. So,
all right, real quick on the free agent budget. Darnell Mooney.
My boy.
Your boy. Yeah, a couple times,
man.
Luke paid $15 for him one week, dropped him. Then he paid $5 for him the next week and dropped him.
Yeah.
And then Mike just got him for $58.
Mike was like, I want him bad. He's filling the gap with Darnell Mooney. I like Darnell Mooney. I've been saying it, or obviously I've been flexing on it for the whole beginning of the season. I think he's a good receiver. And I think that he runs good routes and he gets open and he catches the ball. I mean, that's what you want a receiver to do. So
5 weeks in, Darnell Mooney's been bid on to a total of $78.
Yes,
that's a lot.
It is, man.
I was kind of thinking about this.
Not as much as Deshaun Jackson.
I was kind of thinking about this. I was like, is that the highest bid ever? And then I go back and I find out that Cody bid $93.
Yeah. on
Deshaun Jackson. And that wasn't over a period of
that was week one, dude.
That was 1 week bid, $93.
I think it was like week 1. And it was Deshaun Jackson. So you're like, Deshaun Jackson we all know what he is. He was you throw it to him one time or two times in a game, and he gets, 2 touchdowns and 180 yards.
And then he gets 2 catches a game for the rest of the season.
Yeah, then you throw him 2 bombs the next week, and he doesn't catch anything, But that was hilarious. When I thought, for some reason, I thought it was Cromer that spent that money. I was like, why did he do that?
It was Cody.
I'm talking about this week on Darnell Mooney.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I was like, and then I went and looked at the fab, what remaining fab Mike had left, and it is 0.
Oh, he's done.
He's over. He spent every dime he had on him. Because I was like, dude, $53. I was like, that's kind of like a weird number,
That's a lot.
And then I went in there and looked at it, and I was like, Mike, next for future reference, might want to save $1 or $2 just so at the end of the year, if you do get in the playoffs, I know you're not used to it. That
Was it last year or the year before where Mike was like, "There's nobody on the waiver wire worth $15." Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
He was like, "There's nobody on the waiver worth more than 15."
Well, apparently that's not true anymore, for Mike. Mike's starting to figure out that when you want a guy, you got to go get him.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth, man. I mean, I've done it on the waiver wire before where I went and got, it's like Puka Nacua last year. Was Puka Nacua worth $15? I'm pretty sure everybody last year would have said Puka Nacua is worth every dime they had if they knew he was going to be a top 5 receiver, right? I mean, I did it Justin Jefferson one year. I did it for Elijah Mitchell when I spent like $25 on him in week 1, and the Raheem Mostert ends up going down. I get him, and I end up winning that year or whatever because I picked up this guy that I liked for nothing. I mean, essentially, Fab is worth nothing because the draft is over. So if you can get a good guy, then go out and get your guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, but...
All right, boys. We'll be back in a minute for matchups of the week and a little trash talk to all you jabronis.
Yeah, and in the chat, talk about a little bit about what we're talking about and what your opinions are on it too, because we want to hear your opinions about what we're saying.
I can't wait till Josh hears. I want to hear what Josh got to say
about being the Dallas Cowboys of the playoffs. Dude. Yes, dude.
Looking forward to it. That's the calm before the storm.
The calm before the storm, dude. Before the out-of-body experience.
Right.
You're right next to the speakers, and you're about to go out your mind.
Everybody takes a break for a minute, catches a breath. All right, let's talk about matchups, man. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with my favorite matchup of the week. The bottom dwellers. The well dwellers.
I gotcha.
Cody and Chris.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win this week? I think we already talked about this a little bit. I got my money on Cody.
Somebody said that there was going to be a L by both of them.
That is so good, dude.
They're both gonna lose.
I mean, and I can just see Chris listen to this podcast, and when he hears us say that stuff, he's like, "Come on, man!
Come on, guys!"
He's like, "Come on, guys! Just give me a shot, dude." I think it's hilarious, dude. And then the Diddler's Meat Oil, he's not even gonna listen to the podcast probably because he's over there putting chicken in bags all day long, every day.
So here's the good thing. They're both projected very, very close. 117, 116.
Yeah. Cody's matchups are absolutely juicing, though, man. They're like...
Dude, he's got Cousins now as the quarterback against Carolina.
Yeah, juice.
That could be another 450-yard game.
They could. No, the only reason it won't be is because the Falcons will be blowing them out so bad that they'll pull them in the fourth quarter, and then it'll be nothing but trash from Andy Dalton to Deontay Johnson. It'll be garbage time.
Just garbage time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's funny also that Cody has two people named B. Robinson on his team.
Oh, yeah. Bijan and Brian. And they're both good. Funny part about that is Brian Robinson is scoring better than Bijan this year. So that's pretty funny. I mean, I'm sure Cody loves that,
So he's got Dubes in, but I'd be tempted to put in Jameson Williams personally over Dubes.
Not against the Cowboys. I mean, look at. I know that the Cowboys seem beat up right now, but like, man, like they actually they actually played really good against the Steelers. I know that Justin Fields is not a good quarterback or anything, but I don't know, man. Like he's a bomber. You know, what I mean, he gets bombed. I think way you do it Dallas is they're going to pass rush. You throw it to Amon Brown and you throw it to maybe Sam Laporta, dude. But it could be. I mean. You know, he always puts in Dobbs, right? Like,
sure.
That's
his guy.
Yeah, but I mean, it shouldn't be. Dobbs didn't even go to practice 2 times last week. He got suspended for the week because he doesn't like the target share he's getting. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to reward him with more targets this week? I mean, I doubt it.
But. Dobbs, 9, 9, 3, 8.
Yeah. That's not even that bad. Right? Like targets wise?
No, that's total points fantasy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought you were talking about targets. I was like, how are you mad? You're getting targets like every game.
Those are fantasy points.
Yeah, and is Dobbs better than Dontavian Stonehand Wicks? Yes. Dude, Dontavian Wicks got the ball thrown to him like 8 times last week, had 1 catch, and the other 7 hit him in the head. You know what I mean? Like did you see the Bills when they were playing and Josh Allen hit Keon Coleman in the back of the helmet with the ball? That's what Dontavian Wicks is doing right now when he gets thrown to.
So here's Jameson Williams, 24, 14, 2,
yeah.
and 16. That's way better than
But
Dukes.
look at what Dobbs. I mean, he did the same thing last week. He played Jordan Addison over who was it that he did last week? It was gosh, man, look at that real quick. Look at his matchup from last week, and he played Addison over. I can't remember who it was. Look it up real quick.
Oh, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. What are you doing, my man? You know what I mean? Like, dude, Higgins drops the best game. That is the definition of Tommy Waffles right there, right?
Or he could have played him instead of Juwan Jennings.
Yeah,
Jordan Addison and Juwan Jennings both sucked it up last week.
What is going on in your mind, Cody?
Let's
That's
see what
I
T.
want to
Higgins
know.
has been doing. Let's see what
this is why you should just trade Bijan Robinson to me for what I want. And I mean, you got 2 guys coming. Come on, man.
This is the 3 games that T. Higgins has played because he was out the first 2.
Yeah.
6 targets for 7 points, 10 targets for 12, 14 targets for 30. Like the progression there should be like, I should play this guy.
Yeah,
I should play this guy.
Well, I mean, not to mention that he was injured at the beginning of the year with a hamstring. He's starting to come alive. Like, and who'd they play this last week? Because T. Higgins had 33 points. Jamar Chase had 41.
Right.
So I'm like, there's obviously a pass funnel kind of situation going on here. Who did they play? Baltimore. That you can't run on them. You got to throw.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, even though they did kind of, I mean, as far as the fantasy scoring goes, they did run it a little bit with Zach Moss. I think he had 8 points, and then Chase Brown had like 16. But I'm not sure if that was run or that was pass. I'm almost positive it was pass. But
all right, next up, Ayuk, Tua, and chasing that Nico Rainbow. We got Tyler and Josh. They're projected 120, the same amount.
Oh, yeah, this is a kind of a down week for Josh, isn't it? As far as the projections go, at least, because he lost Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a good name for his team, though, because Nico has been killing it.
He's also got Achane out, Nico Collins, Jonathan Brooks.
He's going to put Tank Dell in for Adunze, probably. I don't know. He might not. Another blunder by Cody. Now that I'm looking at Josh's team, Trey McBride is now on Josh's team. What is going on, man? Like,
we missed that whole trade on our little
Do
discussion.
you even play fantasy football, Cody? Like, I mean, love having you. Don't get me wrong, but I'm roasting you on this one, man. I mean, the Diddler's meat oil
dropped him.
Okay, week 1 mistake. Let's Cromer win, right? Week 2 mistake. I don't care. I'm sure he did make one somewhere. Week 3 mistake. What do you do? Like, you know what I mean? Like we could go down the list and go mistake 1, mistake. Last week, T. Higgins. Week 1, Cromer. You know, I mean, like
dropped to waivers.
Dropped Trey McBride in week 2. There goes your week 2 blunder.
It was his 5th pick.
No, I know. It was
what the fuck is going on?
No, man. And then for Josh to get him or Cromer to get him.
Yeah, Josh got him for $32.
Yeah, who's he got in there? Cole Kmet. Dude, I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, just trade him to me or something, man.
Did you see my comment on the group message? Like, Cody, before you make any moves, you need to consult someone.
I think that's what everybody was saying after the Travis Kelce trade and the A.J. Brown trade. Everybody was like, before anybody makes any more trades.
Consult someone. Call your consultant.
Well, and I mean, like, you could call somebody, but they're just going to tell you not to trade because they don't want anybody. They don't want to see anybody, anybody's team get better than they already are, especially anybody at the top. So, but that is hilarious, man. That's too good. So Tyler and Josh,
I'm going Josh here, man. I can't bid against him right now.
I'm going Josh too because Jonathan Taylor's not going to play.
Dude, if you look at Josh's matchups, they're like ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, man.
He's going against 26, 15, 27, 15, 24, 24, 32, 30, 31st. I mean, everything's green.
Yeah. I mean, it's green means go, by the way, but
sure.
the crazy part is his projections are kind of low considering that. Chase, the thing is like Chase Brown is projected like 11 points, 12 points, but his top, it's like Trey Sermon. It's like you could be 18. All he's got to do is fall into the end zone, and then you're 20 points. I think 11 is his floor. I think David Montgomery. I think his points are about right at 15. I mean, they could be more, but when you're splitting with Jahmyr Gibbs, it is what it is. The Giants, Jamar Chase, sky's the limit. Marvin Harrison sucks. I don't know what is going on with him in the Cardinals, but he had like one target last week or something. They should have got Malik Neighbors because that dude would be killing it. I think the discussion about Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors is over. Malik Neighbors
he's the guy.
He's
the guy.
He's Justin Jefferson this year, essentially. So I think I'm going to go with Josh too. Jonathan Taylor's just not going to play. That's minus 18 points. He's going to be looking at 102. He's going to put Buggy Irving in.
And Bucky Irving's going to get 7.
Or Tracy, Tyrone Tracy, who did great last week.
Yeah.
But if Devin Singletary's in there, you're looking at a split.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's very possible, but I'm going to take Josh.
Next up, we got Cromer and Mike.
Taking Mike, dude.
Yeah, dude, Mike's team looks good. And if Neighbors plays, I think he will play.
Yeah.
Breece Hall, Rashad White, Neighbors, Mooney.
Yeah. I think against Carolina, Neighbors against Cincinnati.
Jaden Daniels.
We'll see if he plays White or if he plays. I guess he's got to pretty much, or Jerome Ford. I might play Jerome Ford. I don't know, but I'm taking him because his matchups look a little bit better, and I'm interested to see who Cromer drops. On the waiver wire.
Because he needs a defense. Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Somebody's got to go.
It's probably. I don't know if he drops Dak or if he drops. It may be T.J. Hawkinson because he's out right now. Yeah. He called me last week and he's like, check it out, I got T.J. Hawkinson for nothing. And I was like, I was thinking about putting him on my team, but I got Travis Kelce instead.
Hey,
so I didn't really care.
Who other than Cody would do this? I'm going to put 3 tight ends in my.
Chris. We've seen Chris do that this year. I believe as soon as Josh was like, have you seen that team? Wolf, he's got 3 tight ends, two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And, I think he has a defensive player on his team.
Gotcha.
Because he probably scored more points than any of my bench guys. Can I get T.J. Watt for 6 points?
No
he's
shit.
like, that was, dude, when Josh said that about Chris's team, I died laughing, dude. I was like, that is probably the worst team I've ever seen. So,
all right, we got Kenny and the McSwifties up next with CD's Nuts. Now, before we get further, why does Spencer have CD's Nuts?
I don't know.
He doesn't have CD Lamb.
I think he's just being lazy. He doesn't want to change his name. He doesn't have anything on there that even, I said CD's Nuts last week, didn't I, Spencer? When you got your ass whipped by my team, who actually has a good name.
You should change your name to Dowdle These Nuts.
Yeah. Dowdle, something with Turd Ferguson or something. Come on, dude. Come on, Spencer. Yeah. This is probably why you're 1-4, man.
Yeah,
because you have no creative genes
man.
When it comes to making up names for teams. We know why you said CD's Nuts last year. It was because whoever you're playing against, I think he's playing against Josh. He changed his name to CD's Nuts, and therefore it stayed that way. But dude,
no, he was.
Come on, get on it.
Wasn't he Schmegma Decklips for a while last year?
Yeah, for a little while. I think he changed
for a long while.
I think he changed his name
this year,
and he should not have yet. But he got after he
got a win.
But we're gonna let it slide, Spencer, since you're 1-4.
Hey, if I play you beat you by 50, it's going back.
We're gonna let it slide, Schmegma.
He's got some pretty good matchups as well. Fields is going up against Las Vegas.
Too bad Fields sucks.
Going up against Dallas.
Gibbs, that's
Drake.
a great one.
DJ Moore going up against Jacksonville.
Dowdle's not good, but they ran the ball on Pitt. So, well, I mean, that's not. Oh, Drake London against Carolina.
Yep.
Jaden Reed against Arizona. Ferguson against Detroit seems good. DJ Moore against Jacksonville. Man, that's. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with. Schmegma. Schmegma. The Dick Lipper.
Kenny's got some decent matchups as well, but he's starting Daniel Jones, and
that's just a bad sign, man. Yeah. And he's starting Kyle Pitts and Daniel Jones on the same team.
Been there with Daniel Jones, dude. It's just awful.
I mean, Kyle Pitts could be fine because they're playing against Carolina. You know what I mean? Like that's. I mean, they both got pretty decent matchups, so I mean, it could happen, man.
I'm going Spencer here, so
I'm gonna go Spencer too, but only because I don't like Daniel Jones and my trade can't look good if I lose out on it.
Gotcha. And now for the final matchup. Ginger on Ginger Crime 2024 ensues this weekend.
It is. It's not looking good for the old ABCDEFU.
I'm going to go ahead and call my shot with you in the room right now.
Like 10-point projection, fantasy higher. Of course, Tom's like, woo, I'm kicking his ass this week,
kicking
man.
this guy's ass, especially if James Cook doesn't go. It's
all of a sudden Ramondre Stevenson's got he's questionable too, but I think that's just, he said he's fine. You know what I mean? It wasn't in practice Wednesday. All of a sudden my team's apparently falling to pieces. So
Evan Ingram, I don't see him having a big game personally, but
I mean
anything could happen.
I mean,
this will be Evan Ingram's first game.
This is not a good matchup week for me. I got Josh Allen against the Jets, James Cook against the Jets.
Injured.
Yeah. I'm like, thanks for throwing that in there. Maybe not injured.
Who's next?
It's fine. Ramondre Stevenson against Houston. You know, like CeeDee Lamb against Detroit is awesome. Mike Evans never has a good game against New Orleans because Marshawn Lattimore and him
it's
are
always
usually
spicy down here in New Orleans.
Yeah, he's like
him and
they're always ripping each other's chains off and
helmets and
yelling at each other. Evan Ingram trying to come back from a hamstring injury. Travis Kelce's on bye. This looks like a bad week for me. I mean, it almost looks like it doesn't matter who I play.
Dude,
probably going to lose.
If you look at my matchups, they are juicy.
I mean, they're good.
They're going to eat lunch.
Yeah,
they're going to eat lunch.
They look like they are, truthfully and honestly. I mean, I'm probably not even going to watch this week because my team is going to get destroyed, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about it right now. You know, there's just some weeks where you're like,
dude,
man, I think I'm
happens.
doomed.
It happens.
You got to expect losses. My main thing is that I made some good decisions in trading for Kelce. It actually made me win matchups already this year.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm taking that for what it is. I know it's a season-long thing. I am not. Matter of fact, I'm taking you against me. Like, when do I ever go against myself? Never. So like but just in giving you your props, dude, you're gonna beat me this week. It's fine. I'm expecting it. If you don't though, and we come back and do the next podcast,
it'll be 2 weeks before we podcast.
I'm gonna be like I'm calling it on Tom to see how shiny that is from that sweat rolling off of it, dude.
Oh goodness. That's funny, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, well, it should be a good week. I think we had a pretty good week. Well, you guys talk about it too in the chat. Tell us what you think about everything. We'd love to hear. Who's gonna win Cody and Chris's matchup?
Here's my prediction. It's going to be 92.1 to 93.3.
It's not bad. That's not a bad. I mean, I think they're both going to be glued to the TV. Wait, Cody won't be. He'll probably be off trying to sabotage himself somewhere. But
we'll see what happens.
Chris and Cody, I feel like, are both sabotaging themselves like constantly while they're trying to decide how to win. Right? They're like not playing T. Higgins last week was.
He wouldn't have won, but you still play him.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean if you make the right decisions you can't win. It just means that you got to at least make some decent decisions, some valid decisions with some reasoning behind them.
Right.
You can't just go, I'm feeling Jordan Addison this week because he's playing against one of the best defenses in the league. I think he's going to blow up on the Jets. That sounds like
I'm just going to roll the dice here.
Higgins against a terrible team. I don't think that's gonna.
I'm just gonna roll the dice.
Yeah, like let's not play Higgins against Baltimore. Who you can't run on, you have to throw. I mean, I don't know if Cody knows anything about that though, so maybe he could or may not. But Cody, you should have accepted my trade. I felt like it was pretty fair, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
one other thing. Hey, Cromer had a really good idea about us all getting together at Oakland. I think that's pretty cool.
No, it was a great idea. He talked to me about it. I think we should all do it. I think it's a good time for us all to get together and just cut up a little bit and have some fun down there at Oakland.
Yeah, and since we're going to be in Kenny's backyard, we'll try to do it on that 27th date.
Yeah, that'd be great.
See if we can make it work. So everybody be looking at October 27th. See what your schedule's looking like, and let's all meet up out there.
Yep, good deal, guys. Great. Another great week.
Nice job, brother. Yep, nice job. Good luck to you this week.
We're going to go try and play some pickleball, I think. So.
Damn Skippy.
Yep.
All right, boys.
See ya.
Boom, son. You're done.